All right, it's time to go over Kamen Rider Geats episode 12, and nerd named Mark here. No, this is probably like one of my favorite episodes so far of Geats, and I've said that a few times now, but a lot happened in this. The episode starts off right, kind of like where we left off with Azuma, still talking about Punk, Jack, and Sumeri, asking about why, they're trying to, stop Geats, why they don't want him to win. Punk Jack even offers, hey, we found a way to escape. You want to join us? Let's escape. He declines. He says, he'll beat Geats in his own way. I really like that, honestly. I like this Azuma, even like just like when Mary was trying to cheat and this and that, like he swapped back to being Keiwa's partner. He doesn't want to take shortcuts. He doesn't want to cheat. So that characteristic's still showing through for Azuma. I love that about him. That's why he is such a good character in that. I really like the dynamic between the old man and Keiwa in the last episode and in this one. When they're running, the old man falls. Keiwa stops to help him, and Ace, while he's still trying to figure out the password, um, you know, uh, the old man actually says, protect Keiwa too, even though you're already protecting someone, because he just doesn't have, you know, he's not in any shape to be defending anybody and fighting. And there's my favorite part of this whole episode. There's a scene when they're in the church, like it's Neon, Ace, Keiwa, the old man, and the two siblings, and the, all these Jamato show up, right? And as they're all holding them off, and Jamato gets by, and he's about to go attack the sister, and then the young brother just jumps in front, and he holds his arms out to protect her, and Keiwa gets like this surge, and you kind of see the old Keiwa come back, and he even jumps up, pushes the Jamato out of the way, and then they finally lock them all out, and you know Keiwa just jumps right in like, how can I protect you guys? How can I help fight? I want to help this and that, and um, you know Ace, I I like after all these episodes from the first DGP and everything else, like Ace definitely has grown to like K1, likes having him around. Like you could just tell the body language, the facial expressions. He tells K1, hey, touch this ID, all memory, that'll jog your memory. And he does that, and he finally got all the flashes of everything. And we got some banger background music. Like the music in this episode, so good. I'm really digging these background tracks they're using for the fight sequences, the serious moments. Like the music is definitely adding to the quality of this show and making these scenes so much better. The best part about all this though is Ace gets a phone call from the game master, and he's like telling him, hey, don't go off script. And Keiwa takes the phone. He's like, hey, put me in the game. He's like, yeah, put me in the game, coach. Let me get in here. Let me fight some Jamato. And um even Ace interjects. He's like, hey, it should be fine to add him in unless, there's something about this game. You're hiding something you don't want us to find out. So Game Master's like, fine, whatever. But in order to do this, he has to transfer the old man's entry to Keiwa. And the old man's like, that's fine. And I was like, all right, we're getting Keiwa back. Like, I've been saying it for a while, like, I miss Keiwa, bring Keiwa back. He's such a good character. And then, and after the last couple episodes, seeing him as a civilian, not acting like himself. And then when we found out why, because when you are eliminated or retired, you lose the will for that wish. So I'm like, oh, he's come back. Is he going to keep the same wish? Because that's what I was curious about. Because, like, this Keiwa can't be the same Keiwa attitude-wise in the game like it was in the first one. He was too helping everyone else and this and that. And he wasn't really putting in the effort to win. And so, Keiwa races off. He's taking out some Jamato on his own and avoiding it, and he gets his driver and his core ID, and he gets the Magnum buckle, which I'm like, oh, at least I was like, at first I was like, if he gets the boost buckle, I'm gonna be like, no, get that shit out of here. But one of the cooler scenes we got, because Azuma, he's fighting Jamato. He's also got the Jamato rider there. As he's fighting them, he has the ninja buckle. I was like, are we gonna get a duel with zombie and ninja? Because I think that would look really cool. Honestly, if I'm being truthful, like I would want to see that. But Jamato Rider comes in, knocks it out. Lo and behold, Keiwa gets it. So instead, I'm like, all right, we're getting Keiwa with the ninja. I'm okay with this because everyone kind of has their buckles that resonate with them, with their ID core. And so the church stuff all the action sequences for that isolated of a area and closed. The church had some of the best action sequences this episode, because there's a whole scene where Ace is trying to fight off all the Jamato. They get by, one Nan gets knocked down, dehensions. She's with the kids and the old man. She's about to get attacked. Keiwa henshins, starts taking them out. We got some of the best freaking camera work I have seen in a long time. And then, we had, like, there was a whole scene where, Keiwa hands the Magnum Buckle to Ace as a thank you for jogging his memory, getting him back in the game. And they got their forms on. They're back to back fighting a whole bunch of Jamato. The camera's panning up, around, all over the place. They're doing combo attacks. And I'm like, this, say what you will about Revice, but compared to After Saber and even 01, Revice had some better action shots with some practical effects and some special effects and a lot of good camera motions, which I brought up constantly, that these were good ways to showcase fighting, and that continued and was improved on in Geats. I love every moment of the action sequence in the church with Keiwa and Ace fighting everybody was so good. Even when we got the combo attack, after they defeated all the Jamato, it was a 2-on-1 with a Jamato Rider. They did some crazy finishes, took him out to an extent, and then he kind of got back up and they all escaped. But those were some of the best freaking action sequences. We're 12 episodes in and we're getting action, like the choreography, the special effects. Like I said in episode 11, when they freeze frame and pan the camera around, love that so much. I love that in Kamen Rider so much right now, and they've been improving on it. The CG even looks really good, where we've had some questionable CG and special effects in recent years, but especially because of Saber. But like I said, there's an asterisk due to filming issues and everything going on in the world. I don't hold it against them, but to push forward the plot more, because everyone, like, we already know Sumeri and Punk Jack are, well, not less Sumeri, more Punk Jack, thanks to the Game Master, is plotting to get rid of Geats, and they're in like this abandoned tower, which Ace noticed the doors open. He confronts them because they see all these like notes and everything from previous riders that were there, because obviously if they're in this game, and we already know the last one with the can one was the only one that the riders actually lost. We know someone has defeated this game. So even Sumeri picks up an old, like, the water buckle, and it's all dusty and this and that. So we know this game can be beaten. And, Ace shows up and he finds a book full of ciphers and about the previous riders and hints on how to solve the puzzle to open the door, because it's in the Jamato's language. So the cool thing is we have the fact that Ace basically outed Punk Jack. He knew this whole entire time that he was working in on it with the Game Master. And the best thing was, he was like, yeah, watching him play a love-struck fool to Sumeri was hilarious. And this kind of infuriates Punk Jack, and he instantly challenges Geats, like they're going to fight. But Sumeri, who I feel like is on the side of Ace, says, this ain't happening. You can't sabotage another player. It's against the rules. She won't allow it. I want this fight to happen. Just like I wanted Geats and Buffa to throw down, I still want them to fully fight. I want Punk Jack and Geats to fight. Although I feel like it may end up being Buffa and Punk Jack, or even Keiwa at some point, that's going to fight Punk Jack more than Geats. But the dynamic in the fact that, Sumeri wants to follow the rules of the DGP. She doesn't like, you could already tell she doesn't like the Game Masters interjecting so much. She definitely doesn't like Punk Jack being there to sabotage. So I'm really curious her character growth and what's going to change going forward with her. And my favorite thing is, so now everyone has their buckles, everyone got their fever buckles, everyone is literally henshined in different areas of the mansion, outside, this and that, fighting. They're all trying their luck. They're not getting what they want. Keiwa, because they all do the revolve on, so Keiwa had ninja for the lower torso, he got the water. Nago got the propeller. Punk Jack got ninja, even though I don't know why he would complain, because ninja and dual on with monster sounds cool. Geats got a drill arm one, so I could see, like, none more happy. And the music changes. The music, like I said, the music in this episode, so freaking good. And we got Ace doing a monologue about luck, and the Game Master trying to like no, they're here because they chose to be here, fighting for what they wish for, the luck being on their side, and like Then they all try again, and they all got lucky. They all got dual forms of there. So Kawa had the double ninja, Nago had the double beats, Buffa got the double zombie, which looked amazing. Geats got double magnum, and so on and so forth. They're fighting, and all these action sequences are so good. Like, we even got Geats and Punk Jack doing a combo to actually defeat the Jamato Rider, and Geats dual wielding the magnum pistols, which was awesome. And then another Jamato picks up the buckle and goes to Henshin, and he says something, and then that's when Geats like, wait, what did he just say? So obviously Geats is trying to figure out the language to solve the riddle, to get out. Another really cool attack combo that I really loved was Tycoon and Nago. And with Buffa, like, all three of them took out another Jamato Rider. Nago with her music, launching up there, Kawa doing some ninja stuff, taking him out, and then Buffa with the dual chainsaws destroyed the Jamato Rider, which was my favorite finish of the match, of the episode, not the match. It was so damn good. And I was like, And then when Ace did his Fever victory, I don't even know what it's called. I'm calling it the Hellfire Bullet Storm. He destroyed the Jamato to the point where the driver that they had was destroyed also. And like I said before, Ace, being Ace, discovered what the Jamato said was their language for Henshin. So he used that along with the cipher book and gave it and figured out what few of the letters were for Henshin to that language to solve and translate their language, giving the cipher to the little kid while him, Nan, and the rest of the civilians are figuring it out, while everyone else just starts holding off the Jamato. And then, they figure it out, they get out, which was really cool. The end of the episode was really cool because Kawa being, back in the game, really nice. But him and his interaction with the old man was just wholesome as fuck. Like, the old man said, he doesn't need his wish. Like, he doesn't need to be young. He's, seeing Kawa kind of gave him that energy to, like, live a strong life. And then we also see now that, so I'm not going to count it as a yeet with the old man being retired because it's a trade. Kawa's in his spot. The Azuma Punk Jack stuff, which is why I said I kind of want to see them face off, because Azuma once again confronts him, asks why management put him in the game. And, Punk Jack even says, hey, if you go along with what I got going on, I'll tell you what you need to know. And if he agrees, Azuma just says, depends on what he says. And I'm like, all right, we're still planting the seed that I feel like Azuma's not a bad guy. I've been saying this since the beginning. I feel like he would probably team up with Ace to make the DGP fair than to take any shortcomings, but obviously he would get an advantage knowing what Punk Jack is planning. Lastly, Sumari gives Kawa a new desire card to write his wish on, and even, Nan's like, hey, are you going to wish for world peace again? He said no. And what he wants is a world where all the eliminated players are brought back. And I find this interesting because there's a lot of players. And this would also mean if they're brought back to them, if he wins, hypothetically, and they are all brought back, does this mean they can be brought back in the DGP again? But then this would also mean Ace didn't win. And I'm just like, this is very intriguing. Because now I really want to see K1 win because I'm curious about that. But at the same time, I want to see Ace a part of the DGP staff. So I don't know where this is going to go, but I'm really intrigued. Also, we got some more information on this whole farming dude. He was in his little greenhouse spraying what I can assume is some, growth stuff, some fertilizer, maybe some anti-bug spray on a Jamato plant. And he even says, that the world is ours for the taking. And and as the Jamato's there, he says, go forth and destroy the DGP. So I'm just like, someone's controlling and growing these Jamato who wants the DGP destroyed, yet the DGP was in place to keep humanity from the aliens. So now I'm just like, but if he's growing them, they're technically aliens, but they're not alien invaders if he's growing them. I'm really confused by this, and I really want to know more about this farmer because I don't think he's the big bad. I don't think he's a major villain. I think he's also a pawn who thinks in the whole scheme, who thinks he's like, in control. And I really think Neon's father really has something to play along with this. I haven't read any of the magazine scans or any spoilers or previews for other episodes, so because I try and avoid that. But yeah, that's my theory right now, anyways. And lastly, at the end of the episode, we got a new DGP rule, and it's a player's entry rights can be transferred if approved by the game master, which obviously we saw with Kawa now back in the game. I'm really curious now with Kawa's new attitude, because he even brought it up to Geats, like he's ready to win. I think this is going to be a dynamic. Neon, on the other hand, she hasn't really done much in this episode, honestly. Last episode, obviously, the other episode when she was brought back into the game, anyways, and her father stuff, but she hasn't really gotten too much stuff. She had a quick passing line with Ace in episode 11, bringing up her father and his being ahead of a conglomerate, and maybe he knows something. But other than that, not really. That seed was planted last episode. Nothing really touched on in this one. This one, I think, honestly, was bringing Kawa back into the fold, and then also revealing that Ace knows Punk Jack is, basically doing the Game Master's bidding. So I'm really curious where that's going to go. Let me know in the comments below what you thought of this episode. A lot of people are talking nothing but great things about Geats right now. We're 12 episodes in, and it feels, like I said, it feels like I've been watching this for a while, because the pacing, the way they're balancing everything has been great. My fear is that this season, if it continues to be as good as it is, it's going to set the bar really high for the next season. And this obviously is peak for Brave right now. But I thank you guys for watching. Don't forget the subscribe button. Like I said, let me know in the comments below what you thought and like the video. I thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.